Hello, everyone. Welcome on in. It's the final Betting Weekly game bet match of the week. We're looking at a couple of matches in Delray Beach, and we're looking at a couple of matches over in, I think it's Marseille, we're looking as well. Delighted to say, joining me from across the pond over in Delray Beach is our senior ATP Tour handicapper. It is Sean Calvert. I've been following you on Instagram, Sean. You're having a good time out there, mate. The weather looks fantastic.
The weather's great. Yeah, a little bit too warm, if I'm being picky. because of the eyes. I think that's like
picky, surely. It's not like you to be picky.
A little bit. I think the eyes are a little bit puffy in the morning, which it's only 9:00 in the morning here. So apologies for the dodgy eyes. But it's all good. Look, I've got the tournament T-shirt on. You can see there the merch.
Wow,
$36
for this.
For the Delray Beach.
To know what? To be honest,
I'm not going to moan about.
To be fair to you, I love I love traveling in luxury style, but you complained about paying $59 or was it $90? I think you're buying a T-shirt for $36. I wouldn't buy a T-shirt for $36. Wouldn't be for me.
You wouldn't buy a T-shirt for $36. Is that what you said?
No, Primark can get one for £2 and paint some. I wouldn't
but
be
you
paying,
can't.
unless it's got a design in the name. $36.
I'll probably never come to Delray Beach. I might not come to Delray Beach again. So I like having these as little sort of souvenirs and stuff. It's I don't mind that. $36. I did draw the line at the Boss Open when it was about $100 odd for a T-shirt that just literally said Boss Open on it. I'm not having that. But
I'm not one for logos, but there you go. Look, there you are.
I can't even see I can't see you at all. So are you wearing a Boss T-shirt or something?
I'm wearing this someone posted many years ago, I think it was about 2 years ago, about this hoodie. He said this hoodie's done more air miles than you, Nigel. Goes with me everywhere I go. This boss, this. But anyway, $36. I know you want to buy a T-shirt for £28, fantastic. Primark for me. But I'd much rather spend the money watching the tennis. Good quality tennis. Obviously tomorrow.
Have you ever been in a Primark?
Every person. Sorry.
As if you've ever been in a Primark. I can't see you in a Primark somehow.
Been Primark many times. I buy my suitcases from Primark.
Okay, fair enough. Carry on. Sorry.
Yeah, definitely been to Primark. I think the thing is here is that a lot of people have been following you on Instagram. If you haven't followed Sean on Instagram, please make sure you follow @Because We Win, and also make sure you subscribe to this channel, Betting Weekly Studios. And yesterday, another huge amount of you joined. And please hit that subscribe button. Also, ring that bell every time Sean gives a bit of content or we do a show on here. It is released. You'll be notified as well. But everybody yesterday said you were in one of the best bars in Florida, in Delray Beach, where you are. You're having your tacos. It was one of the best places.
That was good. Rocco's Tacos. Yeah, that was a recommendation, wasn't it, from one of our followers. On Twitter. It was good. Yeah, happy hour between 4 and 7. Yeah, the tacos came very quickly. I had 5. I was pretty hungry. So I had 5 of the hard shell tacos, and it came within about 2 or 3 minutes. So it was good. There was a power cut, by the way, in the middle of the meal. The whole power went out and everything. I was kind of hoping I was going to get away without paying in the end because they didn't have any power to take any money. Come
on, Sean, please. Please.
I'm only joking. No, I came back on and it was all good. So, yeah, there we
are. We got a bit of a lag on the show here today. If you hear me interrupting Sean or Sean interrupting me, there is a bit of a lag because of the internet connection between myself here in South London and Sean over in Delray Beach. We're going to move straight on to the matches. We have a couple of matches where Sean is in Florida, and it's Taylor Fritz against Yunchaokete. Boo is our first match we're going to discuss. Fritz is an overwhelming favourite here. He's a very, very heavy price. He's like -1,000 to win this match. Boo is +600. Spread is 4.5. Total here is 20.5. If you look at the record of these two on hard courts this season, you can understand why Bet Rivers has come up this price they have. 6 wins from 8 matches for Fritz on hard court, and Yunchaokete Boo has only had the 1 win from 3 matches. But he did beat Hurkacz in round 1 here, which is probably one of his best wins of the year. I did say earlier in the week that I saw Fritz talk after his match in Dallas, after his match against Rinderknech, before he got beat by Shapovalov. He did say that he was feeling tired. He did say he was had a bit of an injury concern. This is his first match since that interview, and he's now a heavy favourite here. You would expect Fritz to come through. I would imagine the conditions being okay for him, but minus 1,000. But before you break down that match, I'm going to throw it all over to you, Sean, so we don't really get much lag in here. First of all, let us know what you think of the conditions, what you've seen with your own eyes for the last 2 days, and let me then tell me what you think is the best bets to have on this Fritz v Boo match.
Yeah, well, this will be a night match. The tournament email you with certain information, and they emailed days ago saying Taylor Fritz would play on Thursday night. So this will be a night match. Conditions here in Delray Beach at night are very slow, very humid. The balls fluff up, so it's not going to be easy conditions for someone like Taylor Fritz, who would prefer it to be quicker. He has been recovering from an oblique injury that he said was caused by hitting with a lot of dead tennis balls, which is something that the pros complain a lot about these days. He said they were the deadest balls ever, so I threw my whole body into every shot that I hit. I think I slightly tore something. I've been rehabbing, and he said he was hoping to be fit for Dallas, but clearly he wasn't fully fit for Dallas. We'll see if he's fully fit here. You wouldn't have thought if there was a slight problem he would risk too much here. I know he's a two-time defending champion, but we've got Indian Wells, Miami coming up. He doesn't want to tear a muscle or anything like that. So it's been a bit of a struggle so far for Fritz in 2025. Look, Boo is a player that does have a high level. He showed at the Asian Swing that his top level is very high, but we haven't really seen it since then. He had an easy match against Hurkacz yesterday. Hurkacz was terrible. Had an absolute shock at Hurkacz, but as far as Boo's concerned, he'll be very, very happy with that. I think the thing about this match is it's Taylor Fritz's first match in these tricky conditions. As I say, it's going to be a night match, and he does have a tendency of taking his time to get over the line in his opening matches at Delray Beach over the years. He's gone over 22.5 games in 4 of his last 5 opening round matches here at Delray Beach, with the one exception being against Emilio Gomez, who I think is outside the top 1,000 now. A couple of years ago, he won that one in fewer than 22.5. But generally speaking, he's found conditions just a little tricky. He's talked about it before numerous times, how hard it is to play here, particularly at night. So I think the over 21.5 here is probably the way to go if you bet on this match. That's a plus 112 chance with Bet Rivers. Boo on his best form can certainly be a player that would press Fritz. It's kind of disappointing that we haven't seen the best of him outside of Asia yet, but this is an opportunity for him, and I think Fritz will win it, but I think it'll take a little time for him to do so.
This match starts at 11 o'clock tomorrow morning, so you've got a bit of time to head across to the Bet Rivers website, and if you do place a bet on the match, you'll be able to bet live and watch live with Bet Rivers. The match will be streamed across your mobile device, your tablet, whichever device you want to use. So many different devices nowadays. My old-fashioned mobile phone, I might be quite old-fashioned on these. But Fritz against Boo, over 20.5 is the play for Sean Calvert. Maybe a lean there, but it's minus 121. Lots of different markets available. I think it's 29 different markets available as we speak now, recording on this show. 20 to 28 markets available. Let's move on to the following match in Delray Beach, and it's Alejandro Davidovich Fokina. He's up against Mackenzie McDonald. Davidovich Fokina was minus 205. McDonald is plus 165. Spread 2.5. Total here is 22.5. Now, a lot of people on the chat, in the community here on Betting Weekly Game Bet Match, are actually talking up Davidovich Fokina's chances of winning this tournament. They see some kind of improvement in him. He is always an auto fave for me when he's a minus $2 favourite or shorter. But on his statistics this year, he's playing very, very well. He's up against an opponent here that he's played twice before and beaten twice before. In 2023, he beat McDonald in Toronto. Very easy, 6-4, 6-2 in the quarterfinals. And he also beat him in Stockholm in 2021. On the record this year, Davidovich Fokina has had a really good win against Tara Daniel. And then McDonald has ended a bit of an indifferent run, playing some challenger events, but he's done well to win 2 matches here, including a big win in the first round against Nishikori, but that was a long match. A lot of people, if you look through the comments on these shows, saying Davidovich Fokina is a big contender this week. What do you think of that?
Yeah, I'm not convinced. He's too inconsistent, Davidovich Fokina. I did think that after the Australian Open, where he put in those two sort of heroic performances coming back from two sets of love down, I did think that he would kick on then, and that would be a real boost for him. But again, he put in a shocking performance last week in Dallas against Arnaldi, where he was slight favourite. 7 winners, 35 unforced errors against Arnaldi. It's just another awful performance from him. Yeah, he does lead you into thinking that he could win tournaments, and be a big contender for these sort of events. But on his best form, yeah, it's great to watch. But there's so many days when he just doesn't show up, like that one against Arnaldi. And I fancy McDonald here. I think this is a bad price on Davidovich Fokina based on him being extremely inconsistent and McDonald having a very, very good record here and being, for me, more motivated. If you look at what Davidovich Fokina has done in this sort of price range, he's only won 6 of his last 11 matches at main level in the price range of 1.4 to 1.6. That's minus 250 to minus 167. So he's anything but a reliable favourite. You'd certainly have lost a few dollars there if you'd have bet him at this sort of price in recent times. As far as McDonald's concerned, he's had a lot of injury issues in the last sort of couple of years, but he's got the wild card this week back into ATP event. Looks very motivated. Watched him last night in a real battle against Kei Nishikori in the slow, sort of humid conditions at night. It's a really good win for him coming through that against Nishikori, who's been playing well in recent times. And his record here, McDonald, is very good. He's 8-4 win-loss, and he's got a service points won and return points won total of 101.4. So this is a tournament that he's gone well at in the past. He's obviously comfortable here in these tricky conditions. And apart from one loss to Radu Albot, when Albot actually won the title here about 5-6 years ago, he's only lost to really powerful players: Sam Querrey, Taylor Fritz, and Riley Opelka. Those are the only 3 he's lost to here in his career, apart from Albot. So I just feel he should want this more. He needs this, Mackenzie McDonald. Davidovich, far too often he's in and out. I'm happy with plus 165 on McDonald here. I watched Davidovich against Taro Daniel. It was okay, wasn't great. I certainly wouldn't trust him in this price range whatsoever. So McDonald for me, I think, is a little bit of value in this particular tournament.
Yeah, McDonald is plus 165 with Bet Rivers. Remember, the action starts at 11 o'clock. So, Sean, before we leave Delray Beach behind, we've got 2 matches there we previewed, and you're just going to go for the one official play?
Yes, McDonald, yeah. Plus 165, yeah.
Plus 165, Mackenzie McDonald, Alejandro Davidovich Fokina on the eye test is the most beautiful player sometimes to watch. But at minus 205 in match bets, he's probably someone that you shouldn't be putting much money on it. And obviously people have spoken about him to win the tournament. Good luck to you. But obviously here we're going with what we've seen previously for the Spaniard rather than what we've seen this week. Now we are moving across over to the south of France. We have 2 matches we're going to discuss here on the show, the final show of this week. And as I said, please make sure you subscribe to the channel and please hit that like button. The first match is Borges against Bergs. So be very careful when you're hitting the button on with Bet Rivers, because Borges and Bergs look very, very similar in terms of the player names. So be careful the pronunciation here. And it's a pick and match. It's tomorrow at 7:30 a.m. Eastern time. And we have a narrow favourite here. We have Bergs at minus 125 against Borges, who's plus 102. Spread is 1.5. I always think the spread is a bit... It's no point of putting the spread prices up when there's such a close game. It's up to you if you want to take a bigger price. And if you do, Bet Rivers have the little toggle that you can move across to get 2.5, 3.5, whatever you want to do. Total here is 22.5 with over the favourite at minus 129. Sean, this is a pick 'em game with Bet Rivers. If we're looking at the statistics of the 2 players, there's not really much to separate them. They both played twice before, 1 win apiece. There has been a bit of money in the early stages for Borges, but in the last hour or so, Bergs has seen the money. They both got a pretty much identical record indoors, 1-0 this year, and they both got a pretty identical record on hard court. 6-3 for Borges, 7-3 for Bergs. The last time they met was this year in Auckland, right at the beginning of the season. and Bergs won 6-2, 3-6, 7-5 in the semi-final. The time before that, it was the Futures in 2020 where Borges won 6-4, 7-6. So a couple of close matches. It's a pick and match. I think it's a genuine pick and match here. I'm interested to see where you're going to go. Looking at over games here, I think over games could be a possibility. But what do you like here?
Yeah, I think over games is very likely between these two when you look at the statistics and you think about the conditions in Marseille. I've seen a bit of it on TV. It doesn't look quick to me at all. It looks like a court where you've really got to grind it out, and that for me would favour Borges. I'm leaning slightly towards him as underdog here now that he is underdog. The conditions, as I say, aren't particularly quick. These two know each other very well as well. They played doubles together this week, these two. They obviously met in that Auckland semi-final recently, which was a real roller coaster of a match. But Borges served for the match in the final set. Prior to that, Bergs was a set and a break-up a couple of times. Borges couldn't get over the line. Bergs just nicked it in the end. And if you look at the stats of their two meetings that they've had so far, it's Borges that's ahead in the service points won and return points won totals, 102-98 in favour of him across those two matches. But if you break those stats down, you can see how return dominant this matchup has been. Borges winning 43% of return points, Bergs winning 40% of return points. So expect a lot of breaks here. Borges has only held serve 69% of the time, Bergs 73% of the time. So yeah, a lot of breaks of serve are expected here. If you look at their records since the start of last season at main level on all hard courts, they're exactly the same. Service points won and return points won totals of 101. Both had tough matches in round one. This should be an extremely tight match. Could go all the way again, but Bergs is short for me here, minus 125. If I was betting in this match, I would take the money line on Borges or the over 22.5, or potentially the over 2.5 sets as well.
Yeah, over 2.5 sets is the market is available on the BetRivers website. With all those prop markets, you can move the toggler from 22.5 to go to 23.5 to make that over a plus money bet rather than a minus money bet. But if you want to take Borges, it's plus 102. We are on the same page here. We think this is going to be a very, very long match. It's up to you what you want to decide to do. But remember, it's an early start tomorrow. It's around about 5 o'clock Eastern time. The matches in Marseille get underway. So if you want to have a bet on this match, you need to head across to the BetRivers website right now. Final match we are going to discuss is Zhang against our tip, Hurkacz. Hurkacz, last time he went to the court, was in the semi-finals in Rotterdam, where he lost an epic match against Carlos Alcaraz. We think that form was a great leveler. The court conditions here we thought might be a little bit quicker. So that might be a little bit of a worry for us, because when we saw Rotterdam, we thought he played so well on a slow court. This court might not be as quick as what we thought he would be. But he is a heavy favourite, BetRivers. He's minus 435. He's up against Zhang, who's plus 330. Spread is 3.5, and the total here is 22.5. Now, these two have got a lot of recent history. They played 4 times before, 3 wins to Hurkacz, 1 win to Zhang. Zhang has been we know he's a great talent, but he's been in awful form this year. And the fact that Hurkacz has beaten twice in Shanghai is something to me that suggests that he should be able to beat him on European soil as well. He is heavy favourite. He's minus 435. I know Mr. Calvert doesn't like betting minus 435 shots, but he is our tip. I don't know if he's worried or he's finding an angle that we can get with our man at a nice price as well and cheer him on to win and to win the tournament. What do you think about this one here?
I think as far as the conditions are concerned, I don't think slow is a major problem for Hurkacz. If anything, I don't think he wants it that quick. I think with his movement, a slightly slower court is not a problem for him. I don't think that's an issue. He's won here before. I wouldn't be worried about the conditions for Hurkacz. It's an interesting match, though. Zhang, as you said, he's not been in great form. He just about edged it against Quentin Halys yesterday, but that was only his second main level win in 13 matches since he made the Hangzhou final back in September. But he has had some extremely tough draws. A lot of top 10 players, top 20 players he's had to play in his first round matches. and he had a bit of an elbow injury at the start of the season as well. So his results could be a little bit misleading, I think. Excuse me. The issue I have with him when he's playing against top 20 players or top players, he's always got one bad service game in him. I've seen him play numerous times. A couple of times I've bet set one overs with him against the better players, and he always tends to crack, maybe serving at a sort of 4-5 or 3-4. He tends to just put in a bad service game and the set's gone. If you look at what he's done in his last 10 matches against top 20 players, set one has finished either 6-3 or 6-4 9 times out of 10, which kind of illustrates the point that I'm making here. He tends to crack when the pressure's on against the better players. Indeed, the last time they met, he finished 6-3, 6-4 to Hurkacz. But the career series overall has been well contested. 2 of them that they've played have ended up in final set tiebreaks, and 40% of the sets that they've contested have been breakers. And if you look at their head-to-head statistics, you can see why. It's very low in terms of return points won. Zhang, 31%, Hurkacz, 33%. So unlike the Borges Bergs match, this is very much the other way around, serve-dominated matchup. And given that it's Hurkacz's first match, I think he'll win it, but I think it'll be competitive, certainly for a reasonable amount of time. I remember watching Hurkacz here when I was in Marseille a couple of years ago. It took him quite a while to get going. He played Michael Ymer, and it was a real old struggle in the end. Zhang's already had that one match, a really long match, so he should be used to the conditions. So I expect Hurkacz to win it, but the odds aren't, they're not, they're a little bit disrespectful to Zhang, I think. I think he'll make this a very good test for our guy. Over 10.5 player games for me for Zhang here at 1.9, minus 111. I think he'll get 11 games. I think against Hurkacz, who is playing his first match in these conditions. It'll be a competitive one, I think.
We could get the best of both worlds. We can get Zhang winning 10.5 games. We can get Hurkacz coming through, and we can get cash on both tickets. And our man progresses through to the quarterfinals. Apologies for the sound, because I know it's it been in and out for myself and for Sean as well. Obviously, we are doing this from opposite sides of the pond. So if you're struggling to hear the sound, I know it's a little bit difficult for me to hear stuff. I know it's very difficult for Sean to hear stuff, and there's maybe a little bit of lag on this podcast here today. But you would have heard the bets, you would have heard the breakdowns, you would have heard the reasoning, and you've heard the man who is in form, Sean Calvert. Sean, just give us a little bit of a rundown of your official plays for tomorrow.
Yeah, just one official play for tomorrow, and that's Mackenzie McDonald in Delray Beach to beat Alejandro, Davidovich, Fokina, 2.65 plus 165 at Bet Rivers.
They are the prices, they are the bets, they are the leans. You can head across the BetRivers website now. And remember, I said, if you have a bet on the BetRivers website, you can watch all these matches streamed to your mobile device, your tablet, your laptop, whatever you want to do. There's lots of action coming up this way. Premier League is back tomorrow on Betting Weekly Studios. We also have the extra time. And Sean will be available for the next 48 hours or so. If you want to follow his adventures in Delray Beach, you can do by following our Instagram account at Because We Win. Now, one thing about our Instagram account, I found it really, really hard to get people to follow. It's one of these things that I found it really difficult. The last week, it's gone crazy. And I think it's because you wanted to see what taco bar Sean's in, or where he's found the Magnus bar, but whatever he's doing, he seems to be hitting the right note. And I think it's because we're betting winners as well. So please make sure you follow that. There's exclusive content coming your way. Go on, Sean. I stopped you there, mate.
No, I was just going to say, yeah, it probably is people just tuning in to see my my little adventures here, my puffy eyes and the Magnus and the tacos and all that. Hopefully I'm going to be a night session tonight. One of our followers actually is very generously said that there might be a ticket in a box available this evening, so that could be interesting.
Wow.
So check that out on
now,
the
this is the kind of thing. This is the kind of thing that, when we go to these tournaments, I mean, that people message you and say, listen, I'm in town, do you want to meet up, come to the box? It's happened to me 3 or 4 times, and I think that's wherever we go in the world, people are actually appreciating this stuff, and our views are going up and up. We're doubling our views on this show than we did last season, and it's such a great feeling when people actually meet you to do that. I mean, have a great night in the night session. Enjoy yourself.
Yeah, it's not confirmed yet, but if that's a possibility, I'll certainly do that, and I'll certainly post a few shots on Instagram, a few videos and stuff like that. So yeah, hopefully that'll happen. And yeah, as you say, it's nice that when people kind of message, go out of their way and come and say, oh, do you want to join me and stuff? It's great.
It's really good. When they meet me or Sean, we never get a second invite though. That's the problem. But anyway.
You might not. I don't know whether I will.
Well, anyway, it's been a great show. Good luck with your bets. Sorry again about the lag there. It is a bit it's the worst one of the week so far, but you understand the problems we have here. Hopefully you get the bets. Hopefully you cash some more tickets. And if you are in Miami in a couple of weeks when I'm out there and you've got a spare box, I'm always there. You can message me and let me know where I want to come. Let me know in a couple of weeks. Anyway, thanks very much for joining. Thanks very much for watching. Sean, this is our last show this week. You're coming back on Friday, yeah?
Yeah, back on Friday. I don't arrive back in until Saturday. It's a night flight on Friday. But yeah, hopefully some more tennis for me today and potentially tomorrow as well.
Yep. Thanks. Safe travels back, Sean, and we'll speak to you all again next week. Back on Sunday, looking to the latest week of the ATP Tour. But for now, that's been it for this week. Hopefully, cash some more tickets and have another great week. Good luck with your bets. Take care. Goodbye.